Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Nama Pranavarthaye Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha
ರಣಾಚಾಂತ ನಮನ್ ಮೋಹಾಬ್ಧಯೇ ನಮಃ
Anantananda Krishnaya
ಅನಂತಾನಂದ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯ
Jagan Mangalamurtaye.
ಜಗನ್ ಮಂಗಳಮೂರ್ತಯೇ.
It's been quite a long gap. Don't remember where we left the last reading. Can somebody? Ratnamji is not here. Usually he keeps exact location where we left.
Page 135.
135.
I think we have to start from the questionnaire, I think, no?
Questionnaire, correct.
Questionnaire.
Jayaji had shared
Yeah, Divyan.
sorry, my internet is lagging. So Jayaji, you shared something like the response to my questions in the WhatsApp. So
Oh,
Swami
yes,
ji,
yes.
were you able
He
to?
sent some questions. Now, where is my phone? Has everybody read Devansha's post and also Jayaji's response?
Yes, Swamiji.
Right. I'm going to read Devansha's question. If Atma is just there as Adhisthana, Sat Vastu, and different order of reality, how can we say that it is Chit, Swayam Jyotihi, and Antakarana reflects that? What if being Chit is dharma of Ankara itself? This is one question. If there is a vritti of absence of everything, including time and space, how do we say that Ankara unmanifest after that?
Antakarana, Swamiji.
Antakarana unmanifest after that. What if the same vritti of absence continues till point of waking? Second question. Third question. We say Ahankara is changing as well. But at the same time, we say Ahankara is the one that experiences the body, mind, and absence of these two. So, who experiences the changing Ahankara if Atma doesn't experience anything? There are three questions. And to which there was a response from, only one response I saw. Did anybody else also respond? No. But at least I hope all of you read Devansha's questions and pondered over it. Jayaji, will you read out your response, please?
Yes, Swamiji. Yeah, so for the first question, I took the second part first, which is what if being Chit is dharma of Ahankara itself? So I said, yes, that is a logical, one of the possible logical conclusions. But then that is the conclusion that with some other Astika darshanas, especially Sankhya and few other, where they stop at the individual consciousness as the ultimate reality, right? Which means these philosophies then accept multiple Purushas and along with Prakriti, everything as reality, right? Whereas that will contradict Shastra Vakya, which is several of them. I just listed 3, 4. Brahman is one without a second. Brahman is beyond space, time, object limitations, right? So multiple consciousness clearly contradicts that, right? Brahman is eternal, while Ahankara Vritti is manifest only in the waking state. Brahman is changeless, whereas Vritti is subject to constant changes. So there are many, many Shastra statements which will be contradicted with this conclusion, right? So clearly there can be only one consciousness. But however, we need an explanation for the multiplicity. So Shastra says multiplicity is apparent, not real. And the sentiency is observed because of consciousness reflected in the mind. So with this statement, one cannot find any flaw. So is that okay, Divyansh?
Anybody else have any input on what on this question and on the response?
Swamiji, we can also, from our own experience, the deep sleep is always one which helps in this situation because Ahankara is absent in the deep sleep. So that Ahankara cannot be the Adhisthana because every night when we go to sleep, the Ahankara is not there. And when we wake up, the Ahankara is brought into picture again. So that is not the Adhisthana because of which I'm able to say that, okay, Chit is the dharma of Ahankara. So that itself negates the possibility of Ahankara being the Chit.
Correct.
No, but like because the Ahankara is unmanifest, Chit is also unmanifest, right? In the deep sleep, we are not aware.
What is unmanifest other than Ahankara?
Like the consciousness aspect, like awareness aspect of
No,
myself.
don't confuse.
No.
No, awareness is there right through in all three avasthas.
No,
Awareness is there.
by awareness, I'm meaning like our general when we say like in the local term when we say aware, I am aware. So in dream, I know I am there. In waking, no, I know I am there. In deep sleep, I at that moment I don't know if I'm there or not. So that aspect is not there. I'm saying.
No, but I remember last class we discussed this also, that when you say dream also, I'm aware, it is not this waking Divyansh.
Yes, it's different ahankara.
So why do you say you are aware? No, you are aware only in the waking state. Let us be very clear. If you are talking about the Vyavaharika awareness, then clearly say that only in the waking state you are aware. Right? And that is what Anand was pointing out, that Ahankara is active only in the waking state. The moment you are out of the waking state, that Ahankara is not there. It is as though resolved. Therefore,
Yes.
that cannot be the Adhisthana, is what he said.
In dream
Okay,
also
I'll
is there,
think
no?
about this.
No. In dream, it is a different. The dream Divyansh is different from waking
Different.
Divyansh.
Yeah.
So that we have to be very clear. So the moment you go to dream also, this Ahankara is not there.
Okay.
The one confusion that often comes is like what Devant was saying. When you talk of awareness as seen in the Vyavaharika Jagat, you have awareness and non-awareness. Both are two extremes of the same thing. Correct? I'm conscious, I'm unconscious, I'm in a coma. That consciousness, that awareness belongs to the Jagat. And anything in the Jagat is Mithya. What we are talking about as Chit is not that awareness. People try giving different names for it. I've heard many people talk about it as universal consciousness. as if it is the consciousness of everybody. You can look at that as well. But essentially, that every word that you say, you're talking about in the Vyavaharik Jagat will have a continuum and two ends. Whether you talk about knowledge, you're talking about consciousness, you're talking about Ananda, you're talking about anything, they will also have the Dandwa. All of them, whether it is this end or that end of each one of them, they exist only because of the one that we call consciousness.
Consciousness or awareness.
Yeah. So that's one question.
Second question is, if there is a vritti of absence of everything, within brackets you put including time and space. We never spoke about that. We never spoke about absence of everything, including time and space, because you have to understand the vritti itself is made up of panchabhutas, and vritti is within space-time.
Yes, but here I'm not talking about the Panchamahabhuta space. I'm talking about the experienced space and experienced time.
Correct, that is Panchamahabhuta only. Why do you
I
get
think
No.
confused?
Jayaji, he refers to like when I am in deep sleep, like time and space are absent to me personally in my experience.
Yeah, in my experience, yes.
Correct, we said that that is the vritti of absence of objects. We
Including
didn't
time and
say,
space.
no. We said in deep sleep, there is no space and time. In deep sleep, there is no space and time, is what we said. We didn't tell about vritti. Vritti is there, vritti is absence of objects. With that vritti, the last vritti that is recorded before you get into deep sleep is a vritti of absence of objects. Desha
Bhava.
kala vastu. That vastu is absent.
But we don't experience Deshakala as well, right?
What do you mean? No, see, are you talking about deep sleep state?
Yes, as a
No,
first person
no.
experience.
Just go slow. If you're talking about deep sleep state, then where is vritti? There is no vritti. Forget vritti. Your question
The
was
last
about
vritti.
vritti.
The last vritti.
Then last vritti is not deep sleep. That is a moment before deep sleep.
Yes, I'm talking about that
So now
only.
don't go to deep sleep, please. Stick to one thing. Stick to the context. So now we are
Okay.
talking about a moment before deep sleep. Therefore, there is a vritti, and that vritti is vritti of absence of objects. That's all I said. And the moment you say vritti, vritti is in space and time. Vritti is nothing but the mind. Mind is made up of all the sattvika amshas of the panchabhutas. So it is
Okay.
meaningless to say vritti corresponding to absence of space and time. We, in fact, just discussed a hypothetical model, right? Putting a timestamp in the vritti.
Yeah, but that is from the third person perspective, right? Okay,
No.
so let me say, okay, so in waking, I see this space, right?
Yeah.
This space that I am experiencing. I'm
Okay.
not talking about the like when we say the mind is made up of sattvic amsha of sukshma. No, sorry. Like sukshma.
Sukshma panchabhutas. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I'm experiencing this space. ठीक है?
Okay.
So
But
in my vritti there is like this space in waking world. In so waking world I am only capturing the experience as a vritti, right? And in that vritti I am experiencing this space.
okay.
In the dream world I have dream vritti and there I experience dream space.
Correct.
And when we have that last vritti of absence of objects, as you said, there is no space as well. What kind of space I'm talking about? This kind of space only. Experience space only.
Correct.
In
Now, you want to just call it nothingness?
Yeah, nothingness. Experience of
Okay, very good.
nothingness.
Okay, you call it whatever it is, but understand the quality of that vritti, whether you call it vritti of absence of everything or vritti of nothingness. It is a vritti which is as though resolved into the source. And that is why it is a vritti corresponding to deep inner peace. And because it is corresponding to deep inner peace, that is why when you recall upon waking, you feel good about it.
हाँ, ठीक है. So that vritti is there. Now we say that let's say the mind is still functioning, right? In that when the vritti is there, the mind is still functioning and it is experiencing nothingness. And then we say the mind unmanifests. So like
Unmanifest.
antakarna unmanifest after that.
Correct.
How do we say that? I'm asking that. How can we say that the antakarna unmanifest after that point?
Because in deep sleep, there is no mind. Mind is as though resolved. Where
But
is the
we
mind being active in deep sleep?
but we don't have experience of deep sleep, right?
We
We
don't
have
have
only
Just now,
we can only recall that last vritti.
correct. Who said that you are aware during deep sleep? You are aware of
Why
the
do you
deep sleep
need
only upon
external
waking up.
input to say that mind is not active? You know very well in deep sleep, nothing is active. You experience it yourself. The experience, the fact that when you wake up, you know that there was nothing happening in that previous period. Correct? When you wake up, then you become aware. This awareness is the Vyabharik awareness of the fact that you didn't have anything during sleep, during deep sleep. Only then you become aware.
Yeah. See, your question was, what if that vritti continues till point of waking? Shastra has clearly stated the vritti is not there in deep sleep.
Yes, that is Shastra part. Like from our experience, how we can say that I'm asking.
It's both, no, both Shastra. Number one, Shastra is a pramana. So what
Yeah.
Shastra has to correct. And then our own experiences, because
Experience.
in the deep sleep state, you know nothing. Only when you wake up are able to recall that there was
Recall.
nothing, I knew nothing. When you wake up,
If-
only then. In deep sleep, nobody gets it. Nobody can go to a person sleeping and say, all those sleeping, please raise your hand. He can't do it. Isn't it? Can you got 10 people sleeping and you say, all those who are sleeping, please say Om. You can't. No function is active. None of the senses are active. The mind is not active. Nothing is active. Correct?
Yes.
So you also
So
experience it, and it is our own reinforcement of what Shastra says.
so if
All of these things, when you prove, there is only anything you want to understand, to prove, you have to have a pramana. How do I say this is black? Because I can see it, and I have a pramana in the eye which says this is black. That pramana tells, and therefore I accept it. In deep sleep, you don't have any pramana active other than the fact that when you get up, you see that, and your pramana in the waking hours is seen as told you that there's nothing available. So both are, it's not that one is contradicting the other. Both are saying the same thing. Your own experiences as well as the pramana. They're saying the same thing. So pramana doesn't contradict any other pramana. Goes along with it. The Shastra pramana is our first, and that's why we all look for a logical reason, which is what we're talking about, is our own experiences, etc., which has to be, they're called tarka in Sanskritam, which has to be Shastra Anukula tarka. You don't take tarka only as an independent means of knowledge. It won't work. Understand?
So that is clear, right?
One more question. So
Yeah.
when we say that when we wake up, we are recalling that there was nothing. So we are recalling that last vritti, right? That
Correct.
there was
Correct.
nothing.
Correct. The
So,
vritti corresponding to nothingness,
huh.
right? Ah.
And from that vritti, we are not saying that there is no like there is no like antakarna was not, I was not there, right? I was unmanifest, antakarna
I
was
think we discussed
unmanifest.
this earlier when Jayaji talked about timestamp. Remember? We discussed this again. Unfortunately, I think what's happening, not registering, you may have to think more about it.
Yeah.
Maybe you think
But
and come
what
up
is
with.
your doubt? Is your doubt whether mind is functioning in deep sleep?
Yeah.
No, then you have to, how many times we can all repeat? Mind is not functional in deep sleep. If you can tell us some proof, some logical derivation to say mind is functioning, then we can all discuss. You're not able to say that.
Yes, I am giving one possibility that
Good.
in this
Tell.
question I have like written that let's say that last vritti of nothingness that continues till the point of waking.
No, there is no vritti. How can it continue?
No.
There is no vritti.
I
In
am
deep
saying one
sleep, there is no vritti.
possibility.
No, on what
You
basis do you say that? It's like the argument, you say it's my argument, but where is the basis for it? Where is the pramana for it?
Swami, I think it can be taken like, for example, I saw something yesterday. So I saw I saw a car yesterday, and I recall the same car today. But the vritti took place yesterday, and it was stored in this memory blanket, and I'm able to recall it today. So I think the same way, Divansh is trying to connect, where he says the thought is vritti is continuing is just the memory part which he is referring to. So the memory is still active in the deep sleep, and I'm able to recall. Is that how you are
No.
trying to
He is
connect,
telling
Divansh?
that last vritti
It's,
continues to be active all through your deep sleep.
and
Yeah.
it's emptiness. It is empty.
So
There's no.
if that continues, Divyansh, then you should have been aware.
Yes, but I'm not able to point at which time I was aware, right? Because
No.
there is nothingness.
Now go to your experience. Your experience says you were not aware.
Huh.
That's all. Now you don't debate on that. Your experience says you are not aware. If
To
you are
say
not aware, that means there is no vritti.
I was not aware, I must be there, right?
You
Only
were
in
not
waking.
there. No, vritti also not there.
This, I think, Jayaji explained in some detail the last time we had a similar question or same question, I don't remember.
Yeah,
But
it's same question.
You think over this again. It is very clear in our experience, and like what Swamiji says, both Shastra Pramana and our own experience, there is absolutely no function of the mind during deep sleep. You have to get this clarity. If you don't get this clarity, I think this doubt will continue to persist. But just keep dwelling on it and we can discuss further. We'll move to the last question.
yeah.
Yeah.
We say Ahankara is changing as well. But at the same time, we say Ahankara is the one that experiences the body, mind, and absence of these two. Correct. So, who experiences the changing Ahankara if Atma doesn't experience anything?
Yes,
Chitabhasa.
ये हो गया. This is resolved.
Okay.
This is okay? Very good.
These are questions which I would like also all the others to attempt answers to. Attempt answer to it for yourself, not necessarily for discussion, unless you have a point that you would like to bring up for discussions. Attempt it for yourself.
Isn't it Chitabhasa which is recognizing that there was This absence of thought.
You're right. But Chidabhasa is not something separate. There's no separate Chidabhasa unless everything else is there. Chidabhasa is not independent thing. It's like you will not have
It's a reflection, no, sir?
Correct.
It's a reflection.
Chidabhasa doesn't have an independent existence. It is there because there is a reflecting medium called mind.
Yeah, it's a reflected.
No. You have to understand, it is there because of mind being there as a reflecting medium. If mind was not there, there is no Chidabhasa.
It's like if there is no mirror, you're not going to get a mirror image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If there's no reflecting surface, you're not going to get a mirror image. So good to make an attempt to write out the answers for yourself and see if it makes sense, or if there any further doubts come up, or there's some point that you would like to bring it up for discussions with everybody, we can do that. The one important thing is pramana. With pramana, how do you justify any statement? And second, if you read the Shankara Bhashyam as we've been doing, wherever you prove a point, he take quotes from the Shastras. That is his reference point. And the second thing is that whatever you do, that should not contradict any other pramana. Should not contradict your own experiences in terms of what you have been able to figure out. If there is a contradiction, then it's for us to figure out why the contradiction is coming. Because pramana is Shastra, it's not wrong. So if I have made a wrong assumption or somewhere I have made a wrong conclusion, I have to examine that. Yes, sorry, Anand.
Swamiji, I just wanted to clarify with Divyansh in the third question, like what does he mean by changing ahankara, or ahankara is changing as well? Like what does that mean? Like when do we actually experience changing ahankara? So I can't I was not able to understand that sentence of changing ahankara clearly by what he meant.
Yeah. So like Swamiji also like in previous verses, we discussed that ahankara also changes. It's parinami. So Jayaji says that ahankara changes between waking and dreaming. And Swamiji said that even in waking also we see ahankara is changing. So let's say when I was a little boy, I say that, okay, then I was a little boy, now I'm a grown person. So, but so one of the ahankara is only able to tell that like through the memory that I was this before and now I am this now. So ahankara is only seeing the change actually.
Yeah, but I guess there actually the ahankara, the inherent ahankara itself isn't changing. It's just with respect to the changes in body and mind, we say that, okay, I had headache yesterday, I was a little boy yesterday, and like I was a little boy a few years back, and I have grown up. But the inherent ahankara that we use throughout in all these experiences, the ankara itself is not changing. It is just with respect to the body, mind, and whatever physical changes that we say that the ankara is changing, right? So in all these experiences, the I experience remains the same.
Yeah.
So
it's
then,
an upadhi, no? This ahankara is an upadhi, which is avidya. It's part of ignorance.
yes. So yeah, the ahankara actually resolves, like
in deep sleep.
technically speaking, deep sleep is one thing, but again, deep sleep, it's just it's unmanifest in the unmanifest form, but it is completely resolved in the wake of knowledge. So when we understand the true Satyam Jnanam Anandam, there the ahankara itself is completely resolved um, in the wake of knowledge, because that ahankara is born of ignorance. So that ignorance is gone. With that, the ahankara is also gone. So I think that is the only actual
Ahankara does
change.
not
Or
go away. What happens when Jnanam comes is we understand the ahankara itself.
Mithyatvam.
fact that Ahankara, because the Sharira continues to exist, that cannot operate without Ahankara. So I like Swamiji's
Enlightened
phrase,
Ahankara.
enlightened Ahankara. It's still, but it's an enlightened Ahankara.
Right.
Fake it and make it. It's another Swamiji's
Sorry?
famous statement. Fake
Yes,
it
yes.
and make it.
Some of these are very pithy statements he gives, which are probably worth really thinking about. Okay. So this is verse number 12 we were doing.
Yeah. Page 135.
I'm going to read the verse itself. Then Vijnana Virati Suptihi Tajjanma Swapna Jagarau Tat Sakshinat Katham Mesyuhu Nitya Jnanasya Tetrayah. Will somebody give the immediate meaning of this verse? Anyone? We read this, no?
Yes.
Can somebody do a simple translation? Don't have to go into the way that Swamiji talks about it.
So it's saying, I think, that in deep sleep, the experience, the Vijnana is not there, the knower and known duality, and it comes into existence when in Swapna and waking. And I am the Sakshi of all these three states.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
Swamiji, I think the Vijnana Viradihi Shuktihi, it says that when Vijnana, that means awareness, withdraws or ceases, the state arises is called sleep or Supti. This is the basic essence of this whole verse.
Go on.
And this says that it is a temporary suspension of the knowing faculty, right? So in other words, it says that where the mind and the senses withdraw, and only the causal body remains active. This is what I could quote.
You're saying something, Rajashri? We can't hear you.
No, yes, completed.
Would you like to read that initial bit that we already read once and maintain continuity into the further one?
I think it's like saying that Ahankara goes through these three states. The Sakshi does not have these three states. So it is Nitya Jnana, like the Adhisthana of all these three states.
Okay. Let's continue from where we left off. There's a doubt we'll go back and refer to the... Who will read today? Starting with questionnaire, right? Questionnaire.
Can I read, Swamiji?
Sure.
Questioner. Now, why can't we say that even the Sakshi is a samsari? Swamiji, Sakshi is not a samsari. Sakshi means that which does not have any quality of samsara. What is its samsara? Please tell me that. Questioner. Sakshi is Satyam Jnanam Anantam as per you. That is its samsara. Everybody has his own lot. Therefore, Atma has its own lot, the lot of Satchidananda. Poor Atma, it is always Satchidananda. It has no change at all. Poor thing. At least we can go around and change. It cannot change at all. I think it is talking about Vachyartha, not Lakshyartha.
Correct. I think you hit the nail on the head. He's looking at, and that important thing, if you can put your finger on, a lot of these things will become clear because the words unfortunately confuse. The word we use in normal parlance and the lakshyartha of the word, which is what we're trying to convey, what Shastra is trying to convey, are not the same.
Swamiji, not true. It can change. In fact, it is the greatest fun maker really, because it can change without changing. When you change, you change. You will not even know that you changed. He can change without changing. He is the greatest fun maker. In this world, there is only one Atma, and that can change without changing it as though changes. All changes are possible for him. Atma is the greatest fun lover because he changes. Every moment he changes. Now he assumes a new thought, another thought, a thriller, etc. He watches the whole thing and enjoys the whole thing, untouched by anything. In order to enjoy, you should not be enjoyed in the process. He is the only one who is never enjoyed. Without being enjoyed, he enjoys. He is the sole enjoyer of everything. In fact, the final enjoyment belongs to the Atma without undergoing all the problems of the enjoyer, like the sweating that you have along with enjoyment. It is something like a person who runs out on a hot summer afternoon to get a cool drink because he is so thirsty. He gets a cold drink, but by the time he comes back, he is sweating and thirsty again. He wants one more drink, so he enjoys, but sweats it out too. But Sakshi, what does he do? He enjoys. Without sweating, he enjoys. Without sweating means without undergoing any change, he is the one who is the enjoyer. Therefore, the Sakshi, Satchidananda, by itself is not a problem. Everything else is samsara, and that samsara is not the dharma of the Sakshi. Avasthatraya Sakshitvam is established for Atma, and because of Avasthatraya Sakshitvam, Atma becomes the meaning of the word I and is recognized as the Sakshi. That Sakshi is Chaitanya alone and is called Sakshi only with reference to the Sakshyam. Itself is Chaitanya Swarupa. This Chaitanya Swarupa, Sakshi Atma, is shown to be free from Avasthatraya and identified as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, negating the objection raised. Therefore, Atah Siddham Aham Brahma Satchidananda Lakshanam. Verse 13.
Yeah, before you go there, you want to summarize what Swami just said?
Yes. So, questioner is saying that Sakshi is also stuck. So, when we say Satchidananda, so we say that, so by Vachartha, it is saying that it is Sat. That means that it does not change. By Vachartha, and he's saying that, oh, so Atma also has let's say, a limitation that it cannot change. So that is the samsara for Atma. But Swamiji is saying no, that Atma can, even though it does not change, but it can, like all the changes appear in Atma. So as though the Atma changes as well. So when we say like Atma appears as all this creation, so all the changes are nothing but Atma. But in reality, there is no change in Atma. So because we have
It
the
is
different order of
superimposed.
reality.
It is superimposed on Atma.
Yes. So like it, like basically it is the Sakshi, it watches all the drama. Not watches, it is just there. The drama keeps on happening and it goes away as well. So, but so like, yeah, I think. Yes, I think this is it from me.
Any other inputs, anybody?
No, all this is a result of superimposition. So it is imposed, body, mind, sense complex, everything is superimposed on Atma. So all the changes which appear as samsara is superimposed on Atma. But Atma by itself is Brahman, and it is not subject to any change at all. That is what the bottom line is. So whatever we see, it is part of the superimposition which is due to avidya, due to ignorance.
Yeah, very definition of sleep, suptihi, he says vijnana viratihi. There is no sense of knowledge in sleep, deep sleep. Vijnana virati. Swami just said that vijnanam is when subject-object differentiation disappears. There's no subject, there's no object. If the person sleeping cannot recognize sleep because there's no vijnanam, the sleeper, whatever you call the sleeper, ahankara, whatever you want to call it, cannot recognize sleep. So what is the basis on which, when you wake up the next morning, you say, I slept? None of the elements available that you've been calling I in the normal waking hours or even in dream are not available in sleep. So Supti, the one who is sleeping, cannot know Sushupti. The sleeper cannot know sleep. Nothing is available to him. So how do you know he slept? Part of the question that Divyan's been asking. How do you know he slept? Something else must be there, which connects all of the states, Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. In Mandika Upanishad, it's called Turiya. Call it Sakshi here. That's something which is other than the Ahankara, other than the Antakarana, everything. That Vilakshana, there must be something else. And that something cannot be sleeping, because if it is sleeping, then won't know I'm sleeping.
Isn't that awareness, Swamiji? Isn't that awareness, consciousness?
You can use any of the words as long as you understand it correctly.
No, that is one right through. It is available. That is awake.
Awareness and consciousness, like I said, can be confusing because we use the same words in the normal day-to-day usage, and that can create confusion. So if you are sure of the understanding of it, there's no problem. So here he calls it Sakshi. Mandika Upanishad calls it Turiya. Whatever it is, this is something else. There's one other element which has to be available in all three states. So first he shows that in the sleeping state, the sleeper cannot know. Therefore, there is something which is not sleeping. That's something he calls Sakshi. Okay. If he doesn't sleep, then can he be in other states also? He can't be waking also. He can't be dreaming also. Because both of them arise out of sleep. You become a waker from sleep. You become a dreamer either from sleep or from waker. No. Dreamer,
Only
you become
from deep
sleep. From sleep. And from the dreamer, you can either be waker or you become a deep sleeper again. Possible. So, Vijnana Vritti Suptihi Tad Janma Swapna Jagarao. And since this something else which is not sleeping cannot have either a waking or swapna, something which is available in all the three states. So, the Vijnana Svirati Suptihi Tad Janma Swapna Jagarao Tat Sakshina Katham Mesyuhu Nitya Jnanasya Te Trayah. Knows all three. Knows meaning, again, I don't want to be using words like knows because immediately Divyansh will say, how does it know? You say it doesn't know anything. No, it doesn't know anything. In the presence, it is known. So that something else is called Sakshi. So what Swamiji is saying here, therefore Sakshi, Sachidananda by itself is not the problem. Everything else is samsara. Meaning everything else is mithya. And that samsara is not the dharma of the Sakshi. None of this sticks to Sakshi. Avasthatraya Sakshitvam is established for Atma. Because it's not a sleeper and therefore it's not neither a waker nor a dreamer. And because of Avasthatraya Sakshitvam, Atma becomes the meaning of the word I. That which is available in all the three states. That we therefore can recognize that I slept, I did not sleep, I was in the waking state, I was very happy. All of that is there because of the presence of this I. And is recognized as the Sakshi. Again, words like Sakshi, technically there's a meaning, but if you use the day-to-day parlance of the word Sakshi, it is somebody who's seen, heard anything of something else. That means the person who has direct knowledge, pratyaksha jnanam, through one of the five senses. No court of law will accept a witness who says, no, I know. You ask him, how do you know? Did you see it? The lawyer will take him to task. But no, it was a blue car. How do you know? Did you see the car? No, but I know. It was a blue car. It was a blue Ford. So unless in the normal usage, a Sakshi is a witness who uses one of the five pramanas to arrive at a pratyaksha jnana. But this Sakshi is not the same. This Sakshi is one in whose presence everything happens, as though happens. So he says that Sakshi is Chaitanya alone and is called Sakshi only with reference to Sakshyam. Itself is Chaitanya Swarupa. The Chaitanya Swarupa, Sakshi Atma, is shown to be free from Avasthatraya. He is not the sleeper because sleeper cannot recognize sleep. And since something has to recognize sleep, you call this Sakshi. And because he is not a sleeper, he is neither a waker nor a dreamer. Therefore, he is shown to be free from Avasthatraya and identified as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, negating the objection raised. What is the objection? Remember, just before the verse, I think, the objection was, what if samsaritvam was the dharma of Sakshi itself? Not possible. Therefore, Ataha Siddham Aham Brahma Sachidananda Lakshanam. It has to be I, there's nothing else. Even in normal this thing, when you recognize a person, from yourself even, from 30 years ago, then nothing recognizable. And still you say there's an I. Nothing is recognizable. The physical form is not the same. The state of the mind is not the same. Senses are not behaving the same way. Nothing is the same.
Devadatta.
Devadatta. Devadatta. Soyam Devadatta. Saha Ayam Devadatta of the past of 50 years ago.
So 50 years back.
And that Devadatta at that time was a young revolutionary. You go around calling everybody comrade. Today he runs industries. He's a capitalist. So he doesn't today, at that time he was a great
The communist.
Don Juan. You know the character. Today he's a settled man with a big tummy. That time he was a sprightly, aesthetic guy. His thoughts have changed, his mind has changed, his
appearance has
of the
changed.
world has changed.
He's got a punch now.
Has changed. Nothing. The native said the same Devadatta. So even in these three states, when everything changes, you still recognize that one thing which is running across all of them called Turiya. And that Turiya has to be I because I exist. Okay, we will take up the next verse in the next class. Look at the next verse. And Shadvikarvatam Veta Nirvakaro Hamanyatha Tadvikaranusandhanam Sarvatha Navakalpate. It's a very interesting verse again. All verses in this are interesting. We'll take it up in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate